Hello my lovely Aries, and welcome to Sitaara Tarot. I'm an intuitive tarot card reader, and this reading is for you for March 2021. It is a general reading, so it's not going to resonate with everyone, so take what resonates with you and leave behind what doesn't. I'm using 5 different decks, and I'll put the decks in the description box below, and I'm going to start the reading. So we're going to start with this middle card here. So this came from your yearly reading, so each month in the general reading I will be bringing in the monthly card from that yearly reading, so if you want to check that out, it's in the playlist. So you have the 9 of Swords, and the 4 cards down here are really what's happening for you in the month of March in your earthly realm, and then the cards above each card is the supporting energy that you have around you. So that could be from spirit, God, universe, whatever terminology fits right for you. So there is a very clear message coming through for this reading, and I've also pulled some wisdom. Well, I normally pull a Wisdom of Oracle card for a confirmation clarification for the reading, and you ended up with 3 of them, so I'm going to pull them in shortly. But I've also pulled an affirmation card from Rumi, because I think these are really inspiring cards, so I like to use them. And I'm just going to pull this card in. So the affirmation you received for this message, for this reading, is the moment you accept that the moment you accept what troubles you have been given, the door will open. And I really feel that this relates to these 3 cards here, so I'm going to explain what I'm seeing here. So I think there's a very strong message coming through, and as I said, this is not going to resonate with everyone, so take what resonates with you. With the 9 of Swords, it's really being bound up with worry and sleepless nights and having a lot on your mind, and it is represented with the air signs, so it's about thought and communication. And this was your overall card for March in your yearly reading, and I feel that this is the energy that you're actually going to be releasing yourself from in March. So you actually are going to be releasing the worry and sort of the heaviness of what's happening for you in your life. So related to this card, you know, being able to accept the troubles that we have been given. And I appreciate acceptance. It's not an easy thing, so be kind and gentle to yourself. However, when we do get into that sort of energy of acceptance, it allows us to move forward and be able to control the things that are in our control, that we can change, rather than focusing on the things that we can't change. So acceptance is really liberates and frees us of our worries, because it allows us to accept, okay, this is where I'm at, and this is where I want to move forward, and this is what I can do. Because quite often as human beings, we kind of dwell on what we can't control, and then we lose all that energy, and rather invest in that energy into what we can control. So I think it's a really beautiful message that's coming through for you, Aries. And the supporting card up here, which is the Ace of Swords, I think it's all related in this sort of message, that the Ace of Swords is coming in to actually cut these ropes. Because when you've got the 9 of Swords here, and then you get an extra sword, which is this victorious sword, the Ace of Swords, and it's a new beginning, I feel that's going to release you from this, because it actually makes the 10 of Swords, which is a completion. So I do feel that's going to be happening for you probably at the beginning. There's going to be some sort of awakening, that you're going to see the potential of releasing yourself of some burdensome worries that you've been thinking about. So beautiful little message coming through. And the other card that really confirms that for me is the card here, which is the number 3, the Empress. Beautiful card. And I have to say, I love this reading, because you've got 1, 2, 3 major arcanas. And when I was doing the shuffle, it was really strange, because these 3 all came out bang, bang, bang. And as I did that, I thought, oh, that's a message in itself. These are really closely related. And it's really strange how they've all come out, and they're all major arcanas. And I think I'm just going to kind of read it as a whole. So I feel that what the message is coming through is that with accepting where you're at now and how you can move forward, you actually put yourself in this Empress position of being able to create, give birth, and that's not necessarily giving birth to a child, but just give birth to a new energy and give birth to a new way of being, a new direction. It's a really beautiful energy that's coming through from this card. And then you also have the number 6, the major arcana, which is the Lovers, and that's connected to Gemini, and it's really about a union and a harmonious union, and that real sort of balance of yin and yang. And that could be a union with another significant other, so that could be definitely something that could be happening for you in the month of March, and that could be a coming together which can actually bring a lot of healing. So if it is involving another significant person, I feel in the month of March there's a lot of healing that's going to be happening, of this sort of coming together, sort of allowing yourself to accept where you're at and where you'd like to move forward, and moving away from the past and moving into the future, but on a very sort of stable and solid ground, with with having a solid foundation. So why I'm sort of saying that is because the supporting energy with the Lovers cards is the Knight of Pentacles. And the Knight of Pentacles is an offer. You can see where he's coming in on his horse, and he's got his pentacle here, and he's offering it out, moving forward. But with the Pentacles being connected to the earth signs of the zodiac, it's really, it's a slow moving energy, but it's got a very solid, tangible foundation. So it's a really beautiful energy to have supporting this Lovers card, you know, this union coming together. However, it's on a solid foundation. So it's not something you have to rush into. And also with the Lovers, I think this is a reminder to slow down. There's definitely a message from the supporting energies here to slow down, because with the Lovers being connected to Gemini, Geminis are very quick. They talk quick. They you know, they're quite a fast. They have a fast pace, being connected to the air signs, and I think they're one of the fastest out of the 3 air signs, I have to say. So I think there is a sort of energy of just slowing down and allowing this union to happen. If it's not a union with a significant other, there's another really strong message coming through that could be that other people may resonate with. It is a union within yourself. Because being the Gemini card, the you know, being the twin, it's like the two parts of yourself are coming together as a whole, as a well, what am I trying to say? As a whole, as a sort of, you know, making completion, being one with yourself. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, and that's again is really supported for me with the Temperance card, because with the Temperance it's connected to Sagittarius, which is the opposite sign of the Gemini. So on the zodiac you've got your Gemini, and opposite you've got Sagittarius. And again, the Temperance card is about harmony and balance, the middle road coming together. So definitely it's a very strong message coming through in March of this beautiful union happening for you, either within your own self or with a significant other. And you are encouraged from Spirit to take it slow, take it steady, because this is definitely a potential for great healing, because the 3 of Swords is a healing card, and definitely it's a very strong message here coming through that there's healing, potential of healing for you in March. And also with the 3 of Swords, because you've got the Ace of Swords here, and I know I'm adding all the swords together, but that makes a 4 of Swords, and the 4 of Swords is about rest. So there's definitely this sort of energy from universe, God, Spirit, sort of encourage you to slow down, take it easy, and allow this union to happen in a very sort of natural way, nice, gentle, natural way. And the reason why I'm saying that is because the Knight of Swords is here, and when I was dealing the cards, this card felt like it was at odds. I felt like it was connected to the story, but I thought it's a separate card. It's got a different message to these 3 cards before I even saw what the cards were, because I always lay them face down when I do my shuffling. And the Knight of Swords is really about charging in. The message that's coming for me is that you're actually running away. You've got this sort of, at the beginning of March, you might see this potential of this union happening, and this healing happening, but it's going to take some work. You know, especially if it's going to be a union within your own self, because if you're being at odds with yourself, and we all have conflict, internal conflict, our own inner critic, you know, our values may clash, or we may, you know, have a value but really struggle to live by that value, which causes conflict within our own self. So I feel, and when you want to sort of bring that together, there is work to be done. So it is sometimes not an easy job. And I feel in March, you really want to run away from that work. And Spirit, Universe, God is really encouraging you to face the work and do the work. So with the Three of Pentacles, it's really about working in collaboration and creating something, and something that's tangible. And it's really lovely. You've got Pentacles. I really love Pentacles. I always say this in my readings, but I do feel when you have Pentacles in your readings, it is really, it gives it sort of a solid foundation. So I think that Universe is really encouraging you to say, this is now the opportunity to make this solid, this union and this healing, and to do the work and not to run away from it. So I'm just going to pull in the cards that were and normally I only ask for one card as a confirmation clarification card, and I'm using the Wisdom of Oracle cards, but you ended up getting 3, and the first 2 cards that came out together were these 2, which was Fork in the Road. I love these cards. The illustrations are so beautiful. So that came with this card, which was Building Blocks. So that one there. So I'm just going to place them next to each other. And then when I went back to the deck, this was sticking out, and it was just crying out. It was like, yeah, no, this is part of the story. You need to take this one. So that came out, and so I took it. And for me, it really confirms the message that was coming through for the rest of the reading. So I feel that the Fork in the Road is talking about, you see this potential of this union, either with a significant other to make healing, and with that union with another person, it may not be, you know, a union as in getting back together with them. If it's like a partner, significant sort of love relationship, it may be just healing that relationship, so you can actually move on. So you're releasing your worries and your woes, which came up in your, I'll just pop that card back there, which came up in your yearly read. So recognizing that there's a fork in the road, you have a potential. You can go left, you can go right, you can take whichever fork you want to. And there is a desire in March to run away and not take the fork of healing, which might involve some work, and take, you know, just keep on running and sort of ignore what's going on and keep on having these worries and woes. And then the next card, which was right next to this as they came out, was the Building Blocks. And this is, I think it's really an encouragement to do the work, do the foundation, which is really, I feel, is related to this Knight of Pentacles, and also definitely with the Three of Pentacles. You know, putting the work in, chipping away, and making them solid foundations of this transformation for you in the month of March. And then the card that was sticking out the pack when I got back to the pack and was screaming out, this is part of the story, is the Y card. And I feel that this is definitely related to the Knight of Swords. As if, you know, you see this fork of the road, you can see that there's a potential to make some solid foundation in this healing and this union coming together with you, another person, or you within your own self. But you're also asking the question, why? Why do the work? Why bother? And I really feel that the message that's coming through is that it can be very healing and a beautiful opportunity for you to actually release yourself from your worries. So I hope this resonates with at least a few people. If it does, please press like. And just a reminder, I will be doing another reading, and I'll be uploading that at the end of February, which will be for Love Money Career, March Love Money Career. So if you want to come back to the channel to check that out, please press subscribe, and I'll see you later. Take care.